Welcome to the Fantasy Happy Hour. Fantasy Happy Hour. Presented by Sportsneak. With your hosts, Justin Sauce and Terry Licious. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, boom. Welcome back. Episode 66, Fantasy Happy Hour, Monday Nighter, Injuries Part 2. Seattle Seahawks, New Orleans Saints. Taryn, let us know what you got for Monday night. This one's going to be a doozy.
Another coming. This is our first Monday Nighter, so I guess woohoo! We're finally making the video happen. The last couple of weeks ran into some problems, but we're gonna make it happen this week. 5-point favorite Saints. They're 3-2. Seahawks 2-4. Seahawks, of course, big news. Lost Russell Wilson. They're on their second week without him. He's expected to be back in week 10. So they're Geno Smith is leading this Seattle team, hopefully to fight in that NFC battle. But they're in a tough division to do that, and this will be a tough year for the Seahawks, losing Russ for that long. Saints are coming off a bye, and they need to keep pace in the NFC. I think they're in the division there with the Bucks, and they're falling back because the Bucks are 5-1. They're 3-2. So they're going to have to keep up and keep battling to keep kind of steady in that NFC division. Notes to this right away, it's rainy season out here in the Pacific. I live just north in Canada, so we know rain is here for the long haul, and Seattle does get that. So that is a field that bears rain, and the projections are rain for Monday night. But the field there is true home field advantage. So look to the defense of Seattle to benefit a lot from a lot of false starts, a lot of problems in the offense for the Saints. And of course, Jameis is not like that competent of quarterback, in my opinion. So he could be definitely susceptible to some defensive plays. But injuries again, Taysom Hill, questionable, coming off a concussion. Hopefully he's back. I'd imagine he's back with a 2-week span. Deontay Harris, questionable. Michael Thomas, of course, still out. Expected back in week 10. And then on the other side, the running game, which is Seattle's kind of bread and butter, especially at home. Chris Carson out till week 10 now too. He joined Russ with a different injury. And then Alex Collins now is questionable with a hip going into this week. And he exited last week's game, I believe, on Sunday. They were the Sunday Nighter against the Steelers there. Almost won that game. So Geno Smith he is pretty impressive for a quarterback. But I don't see this being a beneficial spot here against the Saints D. That's one of the better Ds in the league. Seattle here, you got to kind of hunt where you see the ball going. Geno is not really a deep ball threat, so it really gets me off Lockett in this offense. And then so you look to the short dump offs with him, and then the Saints very spread lately. Like Jameis doesn't throw a ton. You got Kamara getting a lot of work, but their wide receivers usually don't see more than 3 receptions each down the board. I mean, Marquez Callaway is probably the standout here. We're recording this quite early, so I don't have pricing. So if this lineup doesn't fit perfectly, I tried my best to project it, but I don't know if it'll be bang on. But I'm going to captain the most expensive guy in this game and the best player left in this game, and that's Alvin Kamara. Last outing, he had 2 TDs, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground, total of about 120 all-purpose yards. He's by far the best player in this game. Rainy conditions, that leans run to me. I think Kamara is going to have a bit of a bust-out game here against kind of Seattle, who isn't quite, I don't know, defensively, they don't look as good, even in these conditions with home field advantage. They're just not strong enough. Jamal Adams, to me, is the most overrated player in the league. People may not like that opinion, but like you watch him line up, he just doesn't look great. So anyways, captain Kamara. And then I'm going to stack him with the quarterback. So Winston does throw the ball quite a bit. And of course, Kamara is one of those outlets. So, he's not going to have huge games, but he's efficient. So I like Jameis here. I like the Saints D specifically. I think they're going to get to Geno. Geno tends to hold the ball. He's a little bit more passive in his throwing. Russ tends to escape, throw the deep ball. So go to the Saints D here. And last week, the Steelers had 5 sacks and a fumble on Geno. And I think the Saints could do a lot better than that. So I go there, and then I put Callaway here. So now these 4 guys could be the most expensive. So you're going to see where I go from here to try to cheapen it up. But Callaway's the lead receiver now in the Saints. He's probably going to be their highest priced receiver. But, 3 TDs this season. He's kind of the one guy getting a lot of targets. And with Deontay Harris out, now you're grasping again deep with this wide receiver core. He's kind of the only sure weapon you got there. And then, so now you got to go to the Seattle side and fill it up with 2 guys. I like going to Travis Homer. He's the third down back. He's the scat back. So with Collins, if Collins is out, I really like this play. They're going to be probably trailing, so they're going to have to throw the dump offs. And we saw Homer get quite a bit of work with Geno there on Sunday night. And then Will Disley and or Gerald Everett. I like going to one of those two tight ends. It's whoever fits here right now, but Disley saw a lot of work there last week, even got a touchdown. And Geno Smith likes that short dump off. That's the thing that he has to do because he's in a hurry. Their O-line's not good enough, and this defense is quite good, especially at rushing the passer. So I don't think he's going to have a lot of time. So it's going to be the quick, short game, which kind of takes Lockett out. But I mean, that does leave room for Metcalf. They're throwing a lot of bubble screens to him. So if you want to kind of swap, mix and match with Metcalf, I think he's the guy that you can play. He did see quite a bit of work with Geno so far since he's been in. And then if Deontay Harris comes out of that key tag, maybe play him as kind of low owned because nobody's going to like that. Or Adam Troutman is a guy I threw from deeper down. He's the tight end there from the Saints. Sees quite a bit of targets, and I mean, he's in line for maybe a seam touchdown here. But outside of that, I mean, DJ Dallas, maybe if you're running game, you got to lean another guy, but the Seattle side's really tough with Geno in. You got to kind of pick a few guys, but he's not going to. Geno hasn't had a burst game, and I don't expect him to have a big game against a defense like the Saints. So coming off the bye, this seems like a spot game to just lay a bit of a shellacking on the Seahawks.
Yeah, this one's a little bit more difficult to do because we're filming it quite early with no pricing as well. So bear with us. Hopefully, as things go on and we get more in a groove with maybe a regular schedule, we can fit this one in down later in the week when the pricing's out. And if you guys like the Monday video, let us know. We'll maybe we're hoping to continue it for the rest of the season, but if you like it, we'll maybe look at recording it, on the Friday or Saturday and with the pricing out and everything too. But I'm pretty confident that Terran's bang on with most of what his predictions are with the pricing, as he's been right the past few weeks when we did some practice ones. So that was sweet. But yeah, give us a like and a subscribe would really help, and comment who you're taking, what your thoughts are on this. And yeah, sick. Injury City, baby.
Yeah.